I think it's a great release of tension. Scary movies, somehow, they take you on a roller coaster ride, and they kind of address fears that you already have. And, I don't think people like to be scared, so that's not why they go to scary movies. They go to scary movies because they already have certain fears, and the movie brings it out in a way that's fun because you know you're not going to be hurt. You know probably that the person that you're most identifying with, the hero or heroine, is going to survive and probably triumph. So, and you go with friends, so you come out sort of laughing and exhilarated and happy, and beyond that, it's a mystery. But I just know that audiences coming out of really scary films, the scarier their film are, the happier they seem to be.
Everybody has a different form of excitement. Some people like to laugh, some like to cry, some like to be scared. And it's very obvious from all of the horror films that people love to be scared. And it's just something in them that on a 9-to-5 basis, they don't get that kind of adrenaline.
I think that there's a real visceral kind of relationship between the horror film and the horror fanatic. I mean, you go and you sit in the seat and you're checking out the film and you get a rush. There's an adrenaline rush.
I think kids go to amusement parks. I think they like to test their fear and survive and come out and happy and alive. And I think it's just a matter of that. People who like to go on Ferris wheels or roller coasters, same thing. They like to go to movies and scream their, guts out.
Because people want to be scared. They're scary, and they like to be shocked because people have regular jobs and they don't see murders during the day in their life, and they want to be shocked and jolted.
We all have an evil side in us. There's always, some kind of evil that lurks within our souls that, we never get to act out. So to go and see a film and be entertained by those emotions and things that we never actually come through with in our lives is kind of a trip, to watch someone else do that and watch someone else be evil. Kind of get off on it, I think that's why.
You want to be on a roller coaster ride. You want to go into a dark theater, have the lights turn out, and just there's something about being scared out of your wits that has always appealed to me, and I think it appeals to everybody, even though, it's not everyone's cup of tea, but there's something about to get the old adrenaline rush and just start shaking and screaming, and then you walk out of the theater and you're just taken for a ride.
I love strange things like Repulsion and The Tenant. I love Hitchcock films. I love Night of the Living Dead. I like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I love just about anything Cronenberg did when he was doing those kind of genre films. Alien. I have very eclectic tastes.
The Shining was pretty freaky. That you could call that a horror film because it's really disturbing. I'd say probably The Shining. I also saw one called The Changeling that really freaked me out because it was about, spirits. And when it comes to spirits, I have more of a belief in spirits, or it seems more real.
Whatever Happened to Baby Jane is my favorite scary movie.
My favorite scary movie would probably be Rosemary's Baby.
Definitely Psycho.
Friday the 13th, the original. And I remember going with my friends, and I just thought, oh my God. It was great. It was quite the ride.
Salem's Lot.
Straw Dogs, I thought was, a Clockwork Orange, that kind of scary movie, not as intense as Wes's, a different kind of scary movie.
I like old movies like Gaslight, things like that. I find those more like the psychological thrillers, kind of more terrifying.
A long time ago, and I'm dating myself, but there was a film, I think, with Vincent Price called 13 Ghosts, and that was scary.
Terror Train scared the hell out of me. Clown masks coming at me with a knife.
I just remember being just terrified by just movies like The Birds or, Exorcist, things like that.
The movie that I remember upsetting me the most was The Exorcist, I think. I'm not a smoker, but I remember I smoked 7 cigarettes in a row when I watched that movie and threw up immediately afterwards.
Probably one of the greatest impact, which is kind of cool with this, was Halloween. Seeing some of the scenes cut together here, I can remember, being in high school and going to see that movie and the impact, that just sitting on the edge of my seat. And that's why you wanted to take girls to those kind of movies, because I can just imagine, my teenage equal nowadays, get her and she gets real scared and she might want to hold hands, and all that stuff, and they get scared. That's another reason I like those scary movies.
Burnt Offerings. I still think about the color of that swimming pool when that little boy was under there and that man was getting killed. It just gives me shivers.
Nightmare on Elm Street, probably.
want to push it, but
I watched Halloween when I was 10 years old, and it was the scariest movie I ever saw in my life. In fact, it's my favorite movie of all time. And it is the movie that is responsible for me being in the business of writing and being in the whole movie industry. So, I mean, for most people, it's Citizen Kane, Lawrence of Arabia, but for me, it's Halloween.